Educators, please welcome Miss Juliana Dewi.
Thank you, Naufal. All right, so hello everyone. So it's really nice to see you. Welcome to the training today. So hello everyone. So can you just wave your hand for me? So I want to see people here. All right, so really nice to see you. And so I've seen several familiar faces over here. And welcome back to my training. And then I also see a lot of new faces over here. Welcome too. All right, so today we are going to share together, we are going to learn together, and then I would like you to turn on your camera if you do not have any problem with the internet connections, yeah? But as Nopal said earlier, that there are around 194 people, the participants from all over Indonesia, and then some others from Southeast Asia. So now I want to know who are from, if you are from a certain kind of regions, I want you to wave your hands, okay? So I'm gonna say kind of like, so wave your hands if you are from Papua. So I'm just gonna know. So can you just raise your hands? Anybody from Papua? So Naufal, can you see? So I'm just looking somebody from Papua really because it's so far away. Right, okay. So maybe not here yet, yeah? Right. So I'm gonna go back into, so wave your hands if you are from Java. Anybody from Java, Ireland? So there must be a lot of you today, right? Okay, nice to see you. And then wave your hands if you are from Sulawesi. So anybody from Sulawesi? Makassar, Manado, or Kendari, or anywhere around Sulawesi. I really miss going to Makassar. And then wave your hands if you are from Bali and Nusa Tenggara. Bali, Nusa Tenggara, then Pasar, and so on. I miss Bali a lot. So, and the last one, wave your hands if you are from Sumatra. Anybody from Sumatra? Medan, Palembang, Prabu Muli, and so, a lot of areas in Sumatra, yeah? And, oh yeah, and I forgot to wave your hands if you are from Kalimantan. Is there anyone from Kalimantan? Ooh, okay, so welcome, Miss Abigail, Miss Yulita. And then if you are from outside Indonesia, I want you to wave your hands. So anybody from outside Indonesia, like from some other countries around Asia? Ah, okay, so welcome to my training. So hopefully that you're gonna enjoy it. All right, everybody. So today, what we are going to talk more is about assessment. Yep. So that's, but I'm not going to give you a definition of assessment anymore. You know it. And then I'm not going to discuss about what is formative assessment, what is summative assessment. You have known it. What I'm going to talk more later is that the variety of activities that you can use as the assessment and also the online applications that you can use besides Google Forms. Yep. All right, good. So let me share you my screen. Wait, so here is my screen. All right, so can you see it? So if you can see it, just give me 2 thumbs up. All right, okay, so I'm gonna share it now. Right. Oops. Right, so because today we talk about assessment, and then I think the assessment is related to this quote. Knowledge is in power until it is applied. So kind of like we are going to assess the student's knowledge. So that's why I just put the quote over here. But also when we are having a training too, sometimes we need to apply what we have known before. And later, you're going to see some of the icons in my slide. It means several things. Like, for example, you can see like, please mute your microphone. You can unmute and then feel free to send messages but you are not going to the breakout room today because there are a lot of people, too many people. And that you can also use the raise hand features whenever you want to ask questions or you want to, you want to comment on something. And you can also you can find the raise hand features on the participant icon. So you just click the participant icons. If you're using a cell phone, you're gonna see it on the left bottom of your cell phone. If you're using a computer, so you just Can I see it right away? Yeah. All right. So today we are going to take a look on Nearpod, quizzes, Wordwall, and Padlet too. You are also going to use it later on. Okay. So kind of like to give you another experience. Oh, okay. Perhaps I can use it for this kind of assessment. Perhaps I can use it for this kind of activities later. Okay. There is no right and there is no wrong online applications. You're gonna see each of them will have their own advantages and disadvantages, and each own will have different types of questions, different types of gradings too. So you're gonna see later on, okay? Right, so we talk about online assessment tasks for language covering the grammar and vocabulary, and then also we're gonna go into reading and listening. Okay, so now the aims of the training. So why we are all here? All right, so in the pandemic era, so we do not, we know how to, before the pandemic era, we know how to assess our students, yeah? Paper-based, it will be, easier. But then when we come into online era, it will be harder for you, to assess your student and to make it valid, to make it measurable. So that's why the aim of the training today is to assess the vocabulary, grammar, reading and listening skills first. And then later, I'm going to talk about different ways of evaluating the students' progress online. And the last one is that how to see the students' whole progress in doing different task types. Yeah. Right, okay. So before we begin, so I just want to know, because this is assessment, so this is assessment for the teachers. Now, you see, we are going to play true or false, okay? Now, I'm gonna need your help this time. Okay. So the participants need to turn on the camera because you're gonna move. I'm going to show you statements. If the statement is true, this is all about English. If the statement is true, give me 2 thumbs up, okay? Using your real thumbs, yeah? Not using the raised hand, not using the icons. And then if the statement is false, I want you to cross your arms like a Wonder Woman, okay? Can you do that, everyone? All right, yeah? Ready? Yeah, so we're gonna do it together. If you make mistake, that will be okay, right? All right, so let's see for number 1. A river is bigger than a stream. True or false? Which one, everybody? True or false? Okay, so number 1 is true, right? Okay, so now let's see number 2. There are 1,000 years in a century. True or false? Which one, everyone? So show me your hand. All right, so that one is false, yeah? Now, what about this one? Founded is the past tense of found. Yeah, anybody likes the grammar? True or false? True or false? Which one? True or false? That's true, actually. So the verb found, that means mendirikan, to establish. So the past form of found is founded, yeah? But the past form of find is found. A little bit confusing, yeah? Okay, anyway, that's okay. So now the word answer can be used as a noun, as a verb. True or false? True or false? Answer can be used as a noun, as a verb. Okay, that's true, yeah? Right, now let's see number 5. Scarlet is a brilliant red color. True or false? Which one? That's true. So scarlet is a brilliant red color. Miss Hannah, I see you. Okay. All right. Dozen is equivalent to 20. True or false? False. So if you're teaching math, so you're going to know a dozen is equivalent to 12. Right. Now let's see. Used to doing and used to do mean the same thing. True or false? Used to doing and used to means the same thing. True or false? That's false. Used to doing is talking about the present condition. I'm used to having online training. So right now you are doing the online training. But used to do means something that happened before now, something that you did before now, but you didn't do it anymore. So I used to teach offline, but you don't do it anymore. Kind of like that. Very good, everybody. Okay, now we're gonna go back to our topic, yeah? So today we're going to use Padlet, but before I go into our material, I want to know your experiences first. So later we are going to go into Padlet. What are some changes that might be positive, might be challenging to you? Have you experienced during the learning from home? So for example, like, oh, okay, so the positive experience during the learning from home, perhaps you do not need to go anywhere. You just stay home. Okay, and that the challenging changes is that I need to change all of the materials, to transform all of the materials from offline to online. It takes a lot of time, kind of like that. Okay, so Nafal, can you help me to share the Padlet link that I've shared to you before? Now I'm gonna
Okay.
stop sharing it. We are going to go into the Padlet. Yeah.
So educators, take a look on your chat box. I just sent you the link. So it's padlet.com/something something. You may just click it directly if you are using your laptop.
Thank you, Nafal. Okay. Right, so if you are using your laptop, you just need to click it and then you're gonna see, please type your name, your institution, the positive and challenging changes over here. Okay, right, good. How's it sound? So we're gonna see it together and we're gonna discuss it together. Then I'm gonna share my challenges, my positive changes too. I force myself to learn. Yeah, sure. Okay. All right. So new challenge, exploring new method of teaching. Okay. Use myself to learn various interactive sites. Yeah, sure you do. Okay. So building the connection. Yeah, you learn to build the connection, the new connection with your students too. Physically less tiring. Yes, physically less tiring. Okay, because you do not need to run here and there when you are teaching, you know. Building connection with the student is more challenging online, of course. Yeah. And then what else over here? So boring, the negative part, the challenging part is boring. Okay. All right. Okay. Physically less tiring. All right. Okay. So that's okay. If you are not used yet into using Padlet, that will be okay. This is also a good way for assessment activities too, especially for reading. Like for example, you want your students to share their opinion about one reading, one article, just use this. So you can see it and then you can screenshot it. That will be easy for you. Right, so you learn new technology, okay. Challenging part is fun activities for kinesthetic students. I'll ask them to run to find something. All right. And then, but eyes are more tired. Yeah, me too. You know, by the end of the training, I just want to close my eyes. And engaging the student is kind of, what is that? I force myself to learn. Okay, more challenging. All right. Physically less tiring. Yeah, of course. A lot of ways to make learning more fun and engaging. Yes. Okay. So what else over here? So there are a lot, yeah. Limited time, yeah. So I mean, like you will spend a lot of time to create something new, to assess, to grade them, to. Okay, so and then what else? Engaging student kind of hard, especially related to speaking activities. Okay. All right, so what else here? Boring, engaging student hard. Okay, less tiring, learning more, building connection. Right, okay. So the good thing about having the brainstorming like this is that you can also just pouring everything, all of your feelings into the screen, you know. Okay, I don't know whether students really understand my explanation or not. Yeah. Okay, lots of technology learned which can be used into the future times, how to engage the students. Yeah, that's also the issue. Okay, right, that's good, anybody, everyone. Okay, be with my family more often, but getting tired, of course. All right, okay, so physically less tiring. All right, so I really like it. Okay, right. So later we're gonna go back into it. Okay, so I'm gonna go back into my my slides. Thank you everybody for participating. Right. So create fun activities to boost their interest. Yeah, and how to maintain what? Okay. Right. Okay. So I'm going to start sharing it for a while, okay? Now, you know that we experience a lot of challenges too, but we also experience some good things, yeah? Less tiring. We do not need to commute here and there anymore. We are not trapped in the traffic jam. We do not need to rush. But on the other side, we need to prepare more, kind of like that. So this is my experience actually. I don't know whether you agree or not, but hopefully delivery method will be different. Like because you have to put everything into the screen now. You have to look at anything from the screen right now. So it will take a lot more screen time to your kids. Before the pandemic, you're gonna what is that? You're gonna tell your kids, you're gonna tell your students, do not play with your cell phones. But now, where is your cell phone? Please use it. Okay, kind of like that, yeah. So please take a look on the screen. And engagement for the students is the hardest part. It means like you have to be both educators, entertainers, in order to attract the students' attentions. And the lower primary will be harder to engage rather than the upper primary. You will see later. And then the media to use. So it's not only about a PowerPoint, but you are also going to use another media too. Like, can I use the social media? Yeah, you can use social media if your students are familiar with Instagram, TikTok, or Twitter, or YouTube. You can just use it, and then also the online application for the quizzes too. But for me, the media is more like the filler, like one thing that will keep your student engaged and interested in the lesson, but not the main lesson itself. So you need to get them into this kind of understanding. So today we are not going to only playing the game in Kahoot, or we are not going to play the game in quizzes, but we are going to learn from it. We are going to have fun while we are learning. Yeah. And then the instructions also will be different. So in my practice, I put all of my instructions into the screen, just in case that my students do not understand what I asked them to do. So I say the instructions, I write the instructions. So I want my student to really understand that. So yeah, I put everything in the slides. And the time allocations too. So you're going to spend actually more time of teaching online. You're going to prepare more because you're going to put everything online, and then you're going to correcting the students' work. And not to mention, if you have husband, wife, and kids, you need to take care of them too. So yeah, so the time allocation will be very challenging to you. And the last one will be the assessments. So because they are at home, there is a possibility that the parents will do the assessment for them. Yeah, because the parents don't want their kids to have bad grades. So they want their kids to have good grades. So instead of letting the kids doing their own assignment, their own project, they want to help. Okay, so let me help you to make the card. Let me help you to make the drawing and etc. etc. So you're gonna find out that assessing student will be hard in terms of the validity. And then you also cannot monitor them. So we don't know what happened at home, yeah? So that's why we are going to talk about the assessments today. So now, for example, I'm going to take some samples from the book. The book will be from Hangout 2. The grammar will be about present simple. Do you like it? Yes, I do. No, I don't. It's about vocabulary items, and the listening activity will be only listen and say. So supposedly, in our offline lesson, in the warming up, when we are doing it offline, you can use the fly swatter to make the class a little bit energized, to make the class lively. But in online, you cannot use the fly swatter anymore. So that's why you have to change it into, okay, guessing the name of the food by typing the answers on the chat box. Yeah. So another job, because you have to change that. And then, for example, I want to change the listening. So actually the activity is only number the pictures, check the answers orally, and then write on the board. So you just need to get the student write the answers on the board. But because this is online, then you have to show the answers on the screen while checking orally. So I do not suggest you to annotate your student to allow them to write down anything in the whiteboard unless they are in upper primary. But with the lower primary, I do not suggest that. Yeah. We're speaking, for example, okay, so we're gonna do class survey. Go around the room, ask and answer questions on the seat. You cannot do that anymore. And online, you're gonna go into the breakout rooms, and then perhaps you're gonna need to send them the file of what to do, what are the questions, and then how they're gonna answer it. Then you're gonna visit the breakout room one by one, kind of like that. So you see that there are some differences that you need to recreate from the same book, from the same lesson. And then if the lesson is changing, so is assessment. Yeah. Now you are not going to use the paper assessment. You are going to use online assessment. The purpose is still the same, like to measure the students' understanding about some materials. You want to know the outcomes. You want to know whether the program is still in line with the curriculum. You want to see the mapping of the students' capability and then in which area they are still need to work more on. You need to know whether your learning objectives need to be reviewed or not. You need to know their behavior. You need to know whether whether your lesson is effective or not, kind of like that. So that's why I'm not going to, like what I said earlier, I'm not going to define it. I'm not going to talk about what is formative assessment, what is summative assessment. Rather, I would like to talk about what can you do with the assessments, yeah? So here are some, we are going to share together. So this time, what are some of the challenges of online assessment? Now, I want you to use the chat box. What is that? In the Zoom activities over there. So you see the chat box. My question is, what are the challenges of online assessment in your opinion? So can you start, typing on the chat box? Then I'm gonna see it. Now, Fal, perhaps I'm gonna need your help to see what are the answers, okay?
Okay, all right.
All right, thank you. So, well, I'm gonna stop sharing it for a while, okay? Yeah. All right, okay. So please share on the chat box, what are the challenges of online assessment? I want to know.
Okay, the first one, students can cheat.
Yeah, for
That's the
sure.
first one.
That's the first one. But perhaps
It is really
something.
hard to monitor the students and the validity of the tests. Yeah, mostly about cheating, I would say in here. Getting the real scores from the students.
Yeah,
Mostly they
yeah,
get help from parents, right?
yeah, yeah. Okay. What else, Naufal?
Okay. Technical issues like the connection.
Yeah, technical issues will be the
The
point.
results are not genuine.
Yeah, true. That's also possible that the result will not be very genuine. So they can cheat, they can ask the friends, okay, anything else, Naufal?
Okay, mostly they are talking about students can cheat, about the assessment somehow it's not helping because parents will just jump in to
Yeah,
the exercise.
yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing.
Okay, all right. Thank you, Naufal. So yeah, I agree with you. But one thing is that this is from my experience, yeah. One other thing that happened during the assessment is that the student might not understand the instructions of the test. So that's why the parents jump in, just making a shortcut. Okay, because you don't understand, then I'm going to do it for you. Yeah, because they don't want their kids are nagging to them. And then also the validity. So most of you are mentioning the validity of the test result. How do we know? They are questionable. Of course, we cannot monitor the students' work at home. Yeah. And then putting all the questions into online platforms takes longer time. So before you just need to have one file and then you just need to print it, you copy it, you distribute it. That's it. But right now you have to put them online. So it takes your time too. And then the grading can also be more time consuming as everything must be checked online. Let's suppose that you are using Google Form, but you want your student to make a paragraph. So you need to, you need to take a look at the screen for quite a long time, checking the students' work, because if you print it, then it will take another job, another expense to you if you print it out, right? So grading can also be kind of like a little bit bothering. And the slow internet connections too, and the blackout. So do not forget the blackout could also bother the assessment process. So once I had speaking assessment with my students, yeah. So we did the interview, and then suddenly in the middle of the interview, my students just lost, So I kind of like, so where is she? I don't know. There is a blackout over there. Oh, okay. So then we have to rearrange the schedule to meet again, So that's really bothering because of the slow internet connections, yeah. Especially if you live outside Java, and then if you live outside Java, you are living in a small towns. So my students live in Bukit Asam, one small town in South Sumatra. So every week there are some people who are coming in and out of the connections. So you can imagine the process. So what about the assessments then? Yeah. So considering that we have a lot of challenges, so here are some ideas that I think are logical to cope with the challenges. So later on, I want to have your opinions about it, but I made it because I also experienced the difficulties that you experienced too. So I think because the validity is the issue, what you need to do is that you need to establish assessment rubric. I'm going to show you what assessment rubric is later on. So the rubrics will cover about what are the criteria of the final score. So perhaps you're going to include daily activities. Perhaps you're going to include the attendance, or maybe you're going to include the homework besides the mid-test and the final test. You're going to give the proportion of the grading for for each task. And because these are for the primary students, make sure that parents know the rubric. Yeah. So in other way, they also gonna encourage the kids to to sit still in front of the camera. So one other thing that you need to consider is the direct and indirect test, or we call it synchronous or asynchronous test. So somehow for me, it is important that we include both of them in our assessment. The synchronous test will be kind of like, it's not formal test, it will be kind of like informal test, like daily activities, daily participations that you can see from your students. So it could be like, okay, so you are asking questions and your student answers, you are showing the pictures and your students react. That will be something synchronous. Asynchronous can be like you put all of the questions into online application and they do it in the student pace time. That will be asynchronous, yeah? And then also, you can also include formal and informal assessment. So perhaps, you want to include some attitudes, some behaviors in your grading. The formal one will be kind of like the formative or summative, the mid-test or the final test, yeah? So here is the sample of the assessment rubric that you want to have, perhaps. This is more or less the same like mine. So by the end of the lesson, my students will be graded in terms of daily participations, for example, and then homework, attendance, the project, the mid-test, the final test, for example. And do not forget to give description. What do you want to see from the daily participation? For example, involve actively in online class activities, volunteer and answering questions, it got 10%. You see that the mid-test and the final test that will be online using the asynchronous activities will take only perhaps 60%. So perhaps if you are, if they succeed in the 60%, that's still okay. Even though the parents are doing that for them, but they got only 60, yeah? You see, because the other 40 are for the other one, like the project or maybe the attendance. So just add the attendance, like to translate at the maximum or submit the homework on time or completing all of the tasks, kind of like that. Then the final score will not depend mostly on the mid-test and final test that perhaps are not really valid. Yeah. From daily participation up to the project, you can just do it, directly, synchronously in front of your Zoom. So the other online media that you can also use to facilitate the assessment later on, the most common one is the Google Forms, so that most of the teachers do it. So I'm not gonna talk about that. Nearpod, quizzes, and WordWall, they were more or less the same. And Kahoot too, because you can see the students, the students' grade over there. And then we are going to, to try to use them later. And then how to use them for assessment, both synchronous or asynchronous. Yeah, Padlet can also be used for informal assessment, like when you have the reading, for example, that you want to discuss something, you want to know the answers, just put them into Padlet. Okay. And don't make them feel like this is assessment. Make them feel like this is their daily participations. You can also use a social media like Instagram or maybe YouTube or maybe Facebook or anything that is in accordance with your school value. Like for example, I don't want my student to use Facebook a lot, so I'm gonna go into YouTube because my school has YouTube channel, so they also has access to upload their video there. Okay, just use it. I mean, like you do not need to use them all. And if your school has a website, and then you have the IT team, work together with them. Like for me, for example, this is my own class because I work in in Mentari, and then I have a class, an online class. So for my mid test and final test, we work together with the IT team, and we put the test in one of their online platforms. So and then later the students have to register their email so that they can access their their test. The test will be timely paced. It can only be done in one day. I mean, like once you do it, you cannot stop. So you cannot just do it for about 2 days or 3 days. No. So once you open it, you have to finish it. And then they cannot go back into the previous pages too. So you have to read the instruction really carefully. And the other thing that you can make use later on is the online LMS that you can use as the progressive test instead of the final test if you want to. Later, I'm gonna show you my online LMS, yeah? Now I'm gonna go into, okay, so that's for the principles for the ways that you can use to establish the online assessment. Now I'm gonna open up for question and answers first. So if you want to ask me questions, you can raise your hands or you can just send it in a chat box and then Naufal will, choose it for me. Go ahead, Naufal.
All right, educators, if you have any question to Miss Juliana, you may use the raise hand feature or just send it on the chat box and I will read it to Miss Juliana. All right.
All right, so if not that, I'm gonna proceed. But anyway, perhaps up until this point, you have something in your mind that you want to comment, that you want to ask, that will be okay too. Anyone? Okay, nobody?
Okay, this one. Any icebreakers that will be suitable?
Sorry?
Any icebreakers that will be suitable? It's from Mr. Sandy at Mojo.
Okay, so let me see. Any icebreaker that will be suitable? Suitable for what? Mr. Sandy, can you unmute? Mr. Sandy, can you unmute?
Yes, I am asking him to unmute. Okay, there you go.
Okay.
Yeah, okay.
Oh, Miss Sandy, so sorry. Miss Sandy. Okay, Miss Sandy, go ahead.
I just want to know about icebreakers that can be primary students.
Oh, so it's not related to the assessment, yeah? No, just for the opening, you mean? Hello, Miss Sandy? So, Naufal?
Yeah, I think
I
yeah.
think she is freezing.
That will be the question from Miss Sandy.
All right. Okay. So, yeah. All right. So the icebreaker, there are a lot of online icebreaker that you can do. One thing is that, what is that? One thing that true false questions, just like what I did earlier, just wave your hands if you are wearing white, wave your hands if you are wearing blue, kind of like that. Or maybe you can ask your students to bring me something yellow, bring me something green, bring me something round, bring me something bigger than your head, kind of like that. That's also an icebreaker. Or Simon Says can also be an icebreaker too. And then another one is that with the lower primary, what you need to do is that you can also do, what is that, showing the cards using the pictures if you want to. That's it, Miss Sandy. Okay. How to give exam for students of grade 1, yeah? Okay, all right. So because we are going to talk about that later after this, so you're gonna see. And
Okay.
then, yeah.
Do we have to score students every day?
And not really. So it depends on, because you also have your lesson plan, right? So you must know on which activity that you want to grade, which activity you do not want to grade. See?
Okay, maybe one more question. How valid will the assessment be?
So we cannot say that it will be 100% valid because there are a lot of factors like we saw earlier, the parents, the connections, their understanding. So in this time of, in this time of COVID-19, so we cannot say it kind of like 100% valid, perhaps 80% valid. Yeah, so that's why I asked you to include formal and informal assessment, synchronous and asynchronous assessment. So we're gonna see it later with the lower primary. Okay, I think that's all now, Fal. But you can also, if you have any questions, you can also still, send me via the chats later. Naufal will pick up some question for me. Okay, all right. So can I continue now? Give me your thumbs up if I can continue. All right, good, everyone. Okay. So see, the problem is with the lower primary, yeah? Right. So I agree with you. All right, so ideas for direct assessment tasks this time. So you see, like what I said earlier, the grade 1 and 2, it will be harder if you ask them to do it via Google Form. Their parents will read the question for them, or maybe the parents will do the questions for them, yeah? That's what you will find in reality. So that's why you need to combine it with the direct assessment task, right, when they are in the Zoom. So we're gonna do it, okay? So now for this time, I'm gonna need a volunteer for maybe 10 people to join me and pretending to be the second graders.
Okay.
All right. So don't
So
be shy.
educators now, if you want to participate, you may just raise your hand so I can easily to recognize that you want to join in this activity.
Miss
Okay.
Hannah, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll unmute.
10 or
One.
15, that will be okay, yeah?
Okay, the more the merrier.
Yeah, the more the merrier, really.
Okay. Oh, Miss Era Mutia.
Okay.
Okay,
Later
we need.
you can, later you can just modify the activities as you wish.
Okay, we need more.
Okay. All right. Miss Hannah, Miss Era, I think. Okay, Miss Diane, all right.
Okay, it's a mister right now.
Right, so yeah, if there is a mister, that will be good.
You play.
Okay, welcome everyone. Nice meeting you.
Okay, we need more. We only have 4 right now.
Yeah, so who are they, Naufal? Can you say their names?
Okay, the first one, Miss Hannah Rivera, Miss Dian Nilmasari, Miss Era Mutia, and Mr. Ahmad Taufik.
Okay. All right, okay. So who else?
Miss Ryu or Mr. Ryu? Yeah, this one. Me.
Miss.
Okay.
Miss.
Oh yeah, Miss Ryu.
How do you spell it?
R-Y. It's Ajeng actually. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Ajeng.
Yes, Ajeng.
Ajeng. Okay, Ajeng.
I'll forget to change my name. Sorry.
All right, that's okay. So who else? Siapa lagi, Novel?
Mr. Aziz.
Okay, Mr. Aziz. All right. Okay.
Miss Ika.
Miss Ika. Right. Good. The more the merrier. Okay. Who else? I think Miss Rose and Rivera want to join.
Yeah, I'm muting her.
All right. And Lisa too. Miss Lisa Faradila.
Okay, done.
All right. Okay. Good. All right. So I'm gonna go with them. Yeah. Okay. Right. So I think there is one more.
Yeah.
Okay. Count me in, Mr. Robert. Okay, Mr. Robert, you're in.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So thank you. So good afternoon, everybody.
Good afternoon.
Really nice to see you and really nice to hear from you. So welcome to my training. Is it your first time to come into my training?
Yes,
Yes.
ma'am.
Murid baru. Okay, new students, you know. Right, so I would like to have repeaters. So actually I would like to have a repeater. Can I have a repeater over here, Nova?
Okay, and somebody who already joined Miss Juliana's training before?
So I think Miss Rosenia and Miss Esther Marpau, because I've seen their names often.
It's my first time, ma'am.
Okay. All right. Okay. So Miss Esther, can you join me? Miss Rosenia, can you join me? All right. Okay. So yeah. Right.
Rosenia Velasco, you mean?
Yes, Miss Rosenia. Okay. So I tend to remember names, you know. So that's why.
I asked them to unmute, yeah.
Yeah.
Let them join.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right. Thank you. Right. So really nice to see you all.
Nice to see you too.
All right. Okay. So we're gonna start here. You're gonna be my second graders, okay? All right.
Yes,
okay.
Miss.
Okay.
Right. Siap ya. Ini anak kelas 2 Indonesia ya, bukan anak kelas 2 bule, oke? Okay? Alright. So you have to remember that, okay? Anak kelas 2 Indo, anak kelas 2 bukan yang bule ya. Alright, okay. Pretending you're my students, yes? Good afternoon, everyone.
Good
afternoon, Miss Juliana.
How are you today?
Great.
I'm fine, thank you. And you?
I'm good too, thank you. Now, you know, today we're gonna talk about food. So who likes eating? I want to know. So raise your hand if you like eating.
Yay, it's me. It's me. I love
Esther,
food.
what is your favorite food, Esther?
Meatball.
Meatball. Okay. All right. Hannah, what is your favorite food, Hannah?
Well, I like pizza and hamburger.
Hello, Hannah. So it's not really clear.
Hello?
Yes. Okay.
Yes, I like to have pizza and hamburger.
Pizza and hamburger. Everybody's favorite.
Oh, I like it.
Wow. Okay. Roseanne, what do you like, Roseanne?
I like cakes and spaghetti.
Pizza and spaghetti. Nobody likes nasi pecel, yeah? Okay, so Lisa, I want to know, Lisa. Lisa, what do you like to eat, Lisa? What is your favorite food? Lisa?
My favorite food is soto.
Oh, soto. So finally there is an Indonesian food. Okay, that's good. Robert.
Yes, Miss. I
What
like
is your favorite food, Robert?
I like a very healthy food. It's a lollipop.
Lollipop.
Yay!
Wow. Okay. Right, that sounds so good. You need some sugar too. Okay, right. This time, Miss Yuli want to know whether you can hear the sounds, okay?
Okay, Miss.
Pengen tahu nih telinganya bagus apa kagak gitu aja ya.
Hey.
Okay.
Listen and say.
So wait. Tunggu dulu ya. Okay. So you will listen to an audio. Miss Yuli will pause one time. Kalian akan mendengarkan audio. Miss Yuli akan berhenti satu kata. You follow. Kalian sebutin. Good?
Good.
Good, Miss.
What will you do?
What will you do? Listen.
What will you do?
Listen.
You can say it in Bahasa too.
We have to listen.
Okay.
Miss Juliana will pause. And then we follow.
Okay. All right, okay. This is really, advanced second graders. All right, okay. All right, so Ahmad, what are you going to do, Ahmad?
Listen.
And then? Will I pause? Will Miss Yuli stop for a while?
Yes.
And then after that, what will you do? Will you say the word?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, that's good.
Yes.
That's one way to check with your students. Yeah. All right. Can we start?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. If you make mistake, that will be okay. Yes.
Hi.
Fine. So we will
Hi,
repeat.
Miss.
Yes. Okay. Jadi nggak boleh takut ya.
A. Listen and say. Number 1.
Fruit.
Number 1.
Food.
Everybody
Food.
fruit.
Food.
Okay. Right.
Food.
Very good. Good job. All right. Okay. So let's see number 2.
Number 2.
Vegetables.
What is
Vegetable.
it?
Vegetables.
Vegetables. Kupingnya udah dibersihin semua. Ini
Vegetable.
very good. Okay. Now let's see number 3. Nah, ini Miss Yuli nggak usah ngulang-ngulang.
Number 3.
Fries.
Banana.
What is that?
Rice.
Siapa yang
Rice.
bilang tadi?
Rice. Rice.
Number 4.
Popcorn.
What is it?
Corn.
Popcorn.
Telinganya bagus semua ya. Anak-anak suka pokoknya.
Number 5.
Chocolate.
What is it?
Chocolate.
Chocolate or chocolate?
Chocolate.
Chocolate or chocolate?
Chocolate.
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 Ayo, chocolate or chocolate?
Dua-duanya, Bu.
Chocolate. Satu kali lagi ya. Oke, wait.
3. Number 4.
Popcorn.
Number 5.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Chocolate?
Chocolate.
Okay, good job.
Chocolate.
Right.
Chocolate is my favorite food.
Give yourself applause. You are doing a great job. So this is also one activity that you can do with your students, just to check whether they can listen and they can follow. Yeah. So easy, right? You do not need to think about a very complicated idea, just to check with them. If you want to check the instructions, so get them to repeat what you say, if you want to check whether they understand or not, okay? So shall we continue?
Yes,
Okay. Now this time, we usually want you to see a picture, and then you're gonna say, what is it? And spell it, okay? All right, so if you know the answer, I want you to do raise hand. So can you do raise hand on your Zoom, or can you do it?
I don't know how, Miss.
I don't know how. Ya, kalau gitu pakai tangan biasa aja ya. Nanti Noval akan
Is there
bantu.
only something like this? No.
Mommy, please help me here, Mommy.
Nah, ya biasanya bakal begitu ya. Okay, so alright, okay. So no more digital hand, okay? So you are going to use your true hands, okay? Alright. So Noval, can you see?
Yes.
Noval, can you see them? Okay, alright.
Yes, I can see them.
So you will see a picture. If you know what picture is it, raise your hand. You can just raise 2 hands. You can raise 1 hand. It's all up to you, okay? Noval will pick up the first one who raised the hand first. And you have to say and spell the word, the ABCD. Okay, everyone? Ready? Ready? Lisa, what are you going to do, Lisa?
There will be words on the screen, and then I have to raise the hand if I want to answer and spell the words.
Okay, advanced second grader. Pintar sekali Lisa. Les di mana Lisa nih? Apa sih Lisa les ini sudah les di IF ya?
Les di IF.
Alright, okay. Ready ya, everyone? Now for ready?
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Alright, so let's see if you can get if you can answer it correctly, spell it correctly, you're gonna get points. Yeah. The winner will get something. Okay, Miss Yuli will give you something. Yay!
Yay! We're going to get the stickers.
Now, what about this? Fruit. Fruit.
Okay.
The root.
Fruits.
Where is that, Novel?
Okay, it's from Miss Esther.
Miss Esther. Okay, Esther, what is it, Esther?
Fruit.
Fruit. How do you spell it?
Fruit.
Very good. Cepat sekali ya, Esther nih. Mungkin dia lesnya sudah advance ya. Bagus banget ya kan? Okay. So now everyone, what is the picture? Fruit. How do you spell it?
Fruit.
Very good. Okay, let's try. If you don't get the points, don't cry, okay? Miss Yuli still have a lot of activities, yeah?
Mommy,
Right.
I can hear.
What about this one?
Me.
Okay, Miss
Okay.
Ajeng.
Miss Ajeng. Okay, Ajeng. What is it, Ajeng?
Cookie.
Cookies. How do you spell it, Ajeng?
COOKIES.
And then S. Okay. All right. Very good, Ajeng. So everybody, what is it?
Cookies.
How do you spell cookies?
Yes.
AIES. S. Very good, everyone. All right. Now the last one.
My favorite food. My favorite.
Miss Liza.
Okay,
Miss
Lisa. Lisa, what is it, Lisa?
Okay.
Chocolate.
Chocolate.
Chocolate or chocolate?
I'm the second graders.
Oh, yeah, second graders, yeah? Okay, right. So chocolate. How do you spell it?
It's C-H-O.
Very good.
C.
Very good.
O.
Very good.
L.
Very
A.
good. Okay.
E.
Okay, langsung juara.
Okay.
I love you.
Very good.
Very good, everybody. So what is it?
Chocolate.
Chocolate. How do you spell chocolate? So please spell it together with me. E. H.
H-O-C-O-L-A-T-E.
Very good, everybody. Now, we are going to do some races. Are you ready, everyone?
Yeah,
It's
Miss.
called Bring
Yes,
Me
Miss.
Something. Okay? Miss Yuli want you to bring some food or some snack in front of the camera. For example,
I don't have
Miss Yuli says, bring me some chocolate. Chocolate, everybody. Coklatnya mana? Tunjukin Miss Yuli. So bring me some chocolate,
I don't
everyone.
have.
Aduh, minta
have
sama
any.
mama kalau nggak punya. Anak-anak pasti punya. Oke. Alright, okay. Alright, Robert, that's the dark chocolate. Very good, Robert. Right,
Don't talk to me. Don't talk to me.
Yeah, ini lupa nyuap chocolate, ya. Alright, so everyone, bring me some cookies.
Chocolate.
Cookies, everyone, cookies.
Don't
It's
have.
cookies.
Pura-puranya cookies aja lah.
It's cookies. Yeah,
Cookies.
cookies.
That's correct. That's cookies. Jadi makan sambil belajar ya, boleh juga nggak dilarang ya. Okay. So bring me some candy. Robert, you must have a lot of candy.
I
Robert.
have a jar of candy.
Wow, Rana, you have a jar of candy. Okay, Ajeng. Right.
Yeah, I eat a lot.
Colorful
That's mine,
candy.
Ajeng. That's mine.
No, that's mine.
The picture of candy.
Ajeng, give me some.
The real candy. Alright, yang tadi bawa boleh dimakan. So that's also one thing to check whether your students understand the vocabulary. Yeah. Okay, so bring me something. Then they're going to see all around the room. And then if you have the problem with the kinesthetic students, that kind of activity will also be good for them. Then you can also assess, you can also see, oh, my students understand this. My students do not understand the word, kind of like that. And they will also listen to you, to your instructions too. That's one activity that you can use as an assessment to your students ya. Masih ada lanjutannya, Miss Esther jangan di mute dulu ya. Okay. Right now. So now we are going into the reading ya. So this one, wow. Okay, now everybody we are going to read together. So I'm not teaching reading. So I'm just going to show you how to assess reading synchronously. Right? Okay. Jadi saya nggak akan bahas kosakatanya, saya nggak akan bahas tentang apa namanya pre-readingnya seperti apa, reading activitiesnya apa, gimana? Yeah, okay. So this is only informal reading assessment synchronously. Okay. All right. So Miss Yuli is going to read you a passage. Okay. Now we're gonna read together first. So do you like fruit? Anybody?
I like fruit.
I like it.
No,
Wow.
I don't.
You know that all fruit comes from plants. And plants need water and sun to grow. Now, my question, what do the plants need to grow?
Water.
Sunlight.
Sun. Very good, everybody. Now, a tomato, this one is a tomato. A tomato is a fruit. Tomatoes grows on vines. So vines means, what is vines in Bahasa Indonesia? Do you know it? What is vines? So see the picture. Sulur. Okay, so sulur is kind of like, what is that? The long, it's a very long green, something that is quite soft. So the fruit comes from it. They can also grow in a small garden. Yep. So where do the tomatoes grow? Tomat tumbuhnya di mana?
Small garden.
Small garden. Okay. And then big farms. And then they grow on vines. Right. So who has plants in the house?
Me.
Oh, okay, right. So Lisa,
My mother.
what plants do you have in your house?
I have chilies and tomatoes and
Chili. Wow.
Java.
Okay. Does chili grow on vines or does chili grow on tree?
It's
Chili grows on vines or on tree?
tree.
Tree. Very good. Okay. So this is also kind of like informal assessment that you can do with your students. Yeah. So first of all, you can read aloud together, and then you can also ask some questions while you are reading. Okay. Another activity that you can also use word wall. I'm gonna show it after this. So it's kind of like labeling the plant if you want to. Yeah. But before that, I'm just going to show you, if you want your students to do some project, so what kind of projects they can do? Well, they can make a drawing based on the reading. Like, okay, so I want to draw the tomato, and then the vines, and they color it, and then they're going to scan it, submit it through Google Forms or through Google Classroom. That's also possible, yeah? Or maybe you want to have the video recording, reporting your garden. That's also one project that you can assign to your students too. Once I did it with my nephew, 5-year-old. I asked him to make a Zen garden. So Zen garden kind of like, I give him some rocks, I give him some leaves and some flowers, and then he arranged that into a small garden. That's also can be one activity. And also labeling the food. You can also ask them to do kind of like an art craft. Find a picture of your favorite food, and then you have to label what does your food contain of. Jadi misalnya kalau hamburger, so it has lettuce, it has bread, it has tomato, it has cheese, kind of like that. Okay, so that's also one project that you can have. perhaps the parents will help, but that's still okay. Anyway, they're gonna need somebody else to video recording. They're gonna need somebody else to help them to label the food. But at least, because before you have the synchronous activities with your students, you can just combine the grading. Okay, so from the project, I'm just gonna take maybe 20%, but from the classroom activities, I'm gonna have bigger portions, like 30%, for example. Yeah, so that's the way you're gonna have more validity of your assessment. Okay, and then the rest, like all of the questions, all of the quizzes for the lower primary, I do not suggest you to do it via online application because it will be very complicated. The parents will complain to you a lot. Just use the Google Forms, something that the parents are used to do it. Okay, if the parents of the students are not really cooperative. But if you find like the parents are very, very cooperative, most of them, then you can teach them how to use the other online application to help their kids. All right, now I'm gonna show you what word wall is. I think word wall can be used with the lower primary. So actually, I don't know what happened with my word wall. It's kind of like a little bit stuck, you know, so I'm just gonna show you. Wait, where is my word wall? Oh, not this one. Wait ya. Harus bersabar semuanya. Okay, so you need to be very, very, wait, where is it? I missed it. Not this one, not this one, the screen, the online, I think I missed it. Okay. Okay, so perhaps, wait, yeah, because I cannot see, what is that? The screen sharing over here. Show all, this one, because I missed it. Okay, now can you see it? So word wall is kind of like, you can do the labeling actually. So the labeling activity that your students can, can do. Only label the parts of the plants, for example. So wait, it's loading. Now, for example, okay, so I'm gonna show you. So they're gonna label it. So which one is the watermelon? Which one is the vine? Which one is the leaf? So we're gonna do it together, okay, everyone? Right, so Lisa, Rara, can you just unmute yourself? Robert, can you unmute yourself? Okay, right, so now Miss Julie is going to label, okay? You help me. Miss Julia is not really good at it.
It's so hard, Miss.
What?
It's so hard.
Okay, right. So can you see the picture now?
Yes, Miss.
Yes,
Miss.
Miss.
Okay. Now, which
No,
one is
I cannot see.
watermelon? Which one is the watermelon?
Brown.
Watermelon?
This
The
one?
big
Brown.
The big ground.
The big round.
Is it watermelon?
That's my answer.
Yes.
That's my answer.
Good job.
Oh, that's my answer, Robert.
Together, guys. But there is my watermelon.
No.
No. Is it the leaf?
No.
The leaf?
Yes.
Yes. Now the last one is vine. Is it vine?
No.
No, Miss.
No.
Vine?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The higher grades, you can let them do it, okay? But with the lower primary, so just do it together in the classroom, right? Kind of like this, yeah? Easy, right? Not really difficult, right? Now you're gonna need to, you will see, oh, my student don't understand it. Good job, everybody. So give yourself a pat.
Hey, we're excellent. We're excellent.
Good job. Good job.
Teamwork,
Everyone. Okay, so good job, everybody. All right, so I'm gonna go back into my screen, yeah? Now, I'm gonna open it for a question and answers, I think. Before I go into the, into higher primary, into upper primary. So go ahead, Naufal.
Okay.
So teachers, you may open the chat box, type it, or just directly unmute. Okay, so I still see nothing in here.
Okay.
Can I ask?
Can I ask?
Okay, Miss Ajeng and Miss Liza, yeah? Okay.
Okay.
Start with Miss Ajeng first.
Okay. Most of the time, some students just not really that active as we do. I mean,
Yeah.
yeah. How to make themselves more attractive, more active.
Okay, so all right, thank you, Miss Ajeng. So how to make your student more active in the classroom, in participating in the classroom?
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
so now how did you find yourself participating in my, in my dummy class?
It's interesting.
Why do you think so?
Fun.
Mm-hmm.
Because, yeah, there's a lot of activity there.
Yeah.
I mean, the same method that I've ever do to my students, but some of them even don't want to unmute themselves and then just stay silent all the time.
All right. So
one or two.
Yeah. Okay. So kind of like because we talk about assessment. Okay. So when you ask them to unmute, but they still keep muted themselves. Okay. So what to grade on their daily participation, right?
Okay.
Yeah. So that's
Okay, you're right.
kind of like a note for the parents. Okay. Yeah. So that's why, Miss Ajeng, it happens. The kids.
Okay. Thank you.
All right, Miss Ajeng. Yeah.
Yes,
so if they don't do something, it also shows something. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Miss Lily.
Okay. You're welcome.
Liza's question.
Okay,
Miss
thank
Lisa?
you for the opportunity. Actually, I teach a student. I have a problem in teaching online because most of my students still depend on their parent. I mean, they use their parent gadget or laptop or computer.
Mm-hmm.
So it is difficult for me to interact with them.
Yeah.
Because their parents are working. So I cannot interact with them.
Okay.
That's why most of the time I tend to use. I cannot use interactive method just like you did, Miss Yulia. So I only make them a worksheet and I ask them to fill some question and then submit. And I found it. How when I assess them, I found it like, no, this is not right. I cannot know whether they really understand the theory or just the parent or other relative help them because I cannot interact with them.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the problem with the working parents is that we're gonna do it this way. So perhaps for me is that you can ask the parents to record the students of doing something on Sunday when they are not working. Like, for example, you assign them to make a drawing based on the reading, ask the parents to record their activity in making the drawing and send it to you. That's also one possible solution, because the parents are working, so they cannot use the parents' cell phones, kind of like that. Perhaps it can help, Miss. Like, ask the parents later when they have time, like for example at the weekend, to record what the kids is doing, kind of like that. Yeah, perhaps it worked. Okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, like what I said earlier, you cannot expect 100% validity in this era. So 80% will be good. All right. So we try, okay, as hard as we can, right, as best as we can. Yes. Right. So shall I continue, Naufal?
Yeah, I think one more question. It's related to assessment, I guess, from Miss Rara. Is it important to share a student's score to parents, or just noticing the parents that his son or her son still not submitting the answer?
So that's why, okay, Miss Rara. So I think that's quite important too. I mean, like the parents also need to know up until which point their kids are doing something or not doing something. but you do not need to show all of all of the grades of the students. Perhaps it's kind of like individual report, kind of like that. So the parents will help you to motivate or to a little bit giving some motivation to your students to do it more, kind of like that.
Okay, so you may continue,
Anything
Miss
else?
Lily.
Yeah. Okay, so shall I continue, Naufal?
Yes, you may proceed to
okay.
the next one.
Thank you. All right, so the next one will be for the upper primary, okay? All right, so for the upper primary too, I'm gonna need to, some participants, yeah? For the previous participants, if you want to participate again, so please do. Raise your hands and then Naufal will unmute you, okay? All right, okay. Nah, selalu ya Miss Lisa ya. All right, okay.
Okay, so everyone, okay, Miss Lisa, you may just unmute yourself, everyone.
Yeah. Okay.
Wants to join.
Right, okay.
Okay, Rami, could you please just use the raise hand feature so it will be easier for me to click to unmute?
Yeah.
Because we have 100 participants here.
Yeah.
Or just unmute it by yourself.
Yeah,
yeah,
okay.
you are
Miss
allowed to do that.
Okay, Miss Asu.
Okay,
Okay.
we have
Miss
more
Irma?
than 5, I guess.
All right, okay, good. Okay, good job. Yeah,
Okay.
all right. Okay. All right, so welcome everyone. Hello everyone, are you there?
Hello, Miss Julia.
Hello, Miss Yuli.
Nice to
Nice to
see
meet you.
Nice to see you and nice to hear you. Welcome back Lisa. Sekarang Lisa kelas 5 ya. Kemarin
Lisa udah naik kelas.
2 ya.
Promoted to the higher class.
Langsung naik kelas. All right, okay. Now, what I want you to do, okay? All right, what I want you to do is that I want you to type ini assessment langsung ya. So I do not teach, okay? I do not teach materials. So we are talking about things you buy at the supermarket. Things you buy at the supermarket, okay? So the language is all about how much is the shampoo and then how much are these towels, only that, okay? All right, so now, what I want you to do, okay? I want you to write down your answers in the chat box. All right, we're gonna do a chat race. Write down things you buy at the supermarket that start with S. Okay, snack, what else? Shampoo, very good. Soap, okay. What else?
Citizen.
Okay. All right, okay. All right. So sugar, sausage, sponge, ini yang belanja mama-mama nih ya. Okay, sausage again. Wow, okay. Now, very good everybody. So now this time, write down things you buy at the supermarket that start with T. That start with T. T, okay. Tissue, all right. Toothbrush, okay. Toothpaste, towel. All right, T, what else? Tomato, okay, very good. Toys, and what else? Teapot, too big. All right, toys, mahal banget beli teapot, okay lah. All right, okay. All right, now, write down things you buy at the supermarket that start with R. R.
R.
R, yeah, R. Rice, okay, ini ibu-ibu nih mah. Okay, raisin. Raisins, rubber, ribbon, okay, what else? Things that start with R. Rainbow cake, okay, rocks, rocks, okay. Rice, root beer, okay, Priscilla, whatever it is. So, what is that, rope? Perhaps, Lisa? Okay, okay, so you now, yeah? Okay, rice, very good, okay, good job, everybody, fun. Very good. So that's to check your students' vocabulary. Easy, right? Yeah. So you're gonna have a chat race kind of like that. So you just change the alphabet very quickly. Razor, red pen. Okay, rice. Very good, everybody. So the other thing that you can do is that you can ask your students, okay, now show me 3 things you buy at the supermarket in front of the camera. The first one showing me first 3 things you buy at the supermarket. Tell me, what are they?
Room pressure.
Okay. 3, only 1. 3 things you buy at the supermarket. All right, Ajahn, what are they? Okay, so I think you have to unmute.
It's book.
Okay.
Perfume.
Right.
Pencil.
Okay.
Paperclip.
All right, okay, banyak banget. Thank you, Ajeng. That's also one way you're gonna check with your students whether they understand, oh, they buy it in the supermarket or they buy it somewhere else. Yeah, so kind of like you help them to categorize the words. Okay.
Okay.
Good job, everybody. All right. Now, everyone, do you like doing something online? So Miss Yuli will have a quiz for you.
Yes.
Nah, waktunya untuk quiz, okay? So we're gonna go into Nearpod, yeah? So this is for everyone, okay? But the problem with Nearpod is that it only accommodates 40 participants. So the fastest you are joining, the luckiest you are, right? Because there are 200 of you, yep. Right, so I'm gonna start sharing the Nearpod, okay? So everybody can join this time. So we are going to have an assessment. So I'm going to show you how if you are using the Nearpod, okay? So the questions are taken all from Big Show Unit 5. And then it will be more about reading, listening, and also reading, listening, vocabulary. I think, oh, this one. Okay, so this one, okay? So it takes for a while. Nearpod is quite heavy. You can use Nearpod. Why I choose Nearpod? Because you can just include various, first. So go to join.nearpod.com and then enter the code ETDVJ. So Naufal, can you just please type it on the chat box so that everybody can join? The fastest is the luckiest, you know, because only 40 participants are limited. But if you are, having the premium account, so it will be unlimited, I guess. But because I'm just using the free one. But because your students will only take, you will have only 20 to 40 students, right? So you didn't need to upgrade it into the premium one. Okay. So later you will see the advantages of using Nearpod. Now here, I've already seen 2 persons over here joining, yeah? So there will be 3 quizzes later on, 3 different quizzes, okay? So you can just joining in, okay, for the first quiz. Nah, see, there are more people and you can also see this course over there. Okay, so I'm gonna wait for you while you can also see how your friends are doing over here. All right, so Loretta, Priscilla, so you make mistake on number 2, but that's okay. All right, okay. That's also some listening that you can also play. That will be okay. Wait, okay. So we're gonna wait for some others. Okay, Rizka, Gina, Widya, okay. All right, good job everybody. Ini anak kelas 5 yang luar biasa ceritanya ya. Now you see that you can also see their score, okay? And then after that, maybe you want to move into, okay, the next listening. So with Nearpod, you can do listening. Okay. So go ahead. Nah, listen and answer the question. 3 questions. Okay, so you're gonna listen first, answer the questions. Okay. Serius semua kan? Okay, so let us see. Oh, some of you are already filling in. Okay, all right, that's good. Okay. Some of you are already almost finished. Okay, for the last one. Right. Now you can also see who is doing it, who doesn't, who is not yet, you know. And one other thing, one advantage from Nearpod is that because you can just do it offline, I mean like on student pace, yeah. So I'm gonna move into the next activity, okay? All right, okay, let us see, okay. Now, the last one. Oh, not the last one. So fill in the blanks. So with fill in the blanks, you just need to drag the answers, yeah? So drag the answers into the correct places, into the correct blanks over there. Right. Yeah. There are 36 people over here. Okay, so I really like it. All right, so let us see. All right, done, yeah? Nah. Okay. Let's see. Now, with reading, what I like from Nearpod is that because you add reading in the slide. I want you to read it for a while, for maybe 30 seconds. Can you do it? Because you are teachers, you can do it fast. Okay. I help my parents, shopping with my parents. You're gonna have questions about this. Done? If you are done, give me your thumbs up. Okay. Done ya? Let's suppose pura-puranya selesai ya. Okay, so now the questions again. So there are only 2 questions because I just need to do it as a sample. Pada serius kan? So with Nearpod, if you don't want your your student to cheat, so you can just do it live. Yeah. So if if you don't do it live, so there is a possibility that the parents will just jump in, they will just ask questions to the others, but this will just making it that there is less possibility of them of cheating because you also time them. All right, good job, everybody. You have done it. Great job. Okay. And then after that, if you want to discuss it, you can just discuss it with your students too. You see here that 10% are incorrect, 9 with no answers, 81, okay, correct, 81% correct. Okay, good job, everyone. Okay, so this is what you can do with Nearpod. So actually, okay, so I'm gonna end it. And then you can also see the report if you want to over here. See. I'm gonna end it, okay. And then later you can also take notes. You can also see the result of your students' work in Nearpod if you want to. Yeah. So you see, if you are using it, you can also do student pace. It means that they are going to do it at home, alone by themselves. But I prefer to for you to give it online participation so that you know that they will cheat or they will not cheat. All right. Okay. Now, let's see if we are using, I'm not going to use, one problem with Nearpod is that with the open-ended questions, you cannot give a key answer. That's the problem. So that's why you need to know if I want to have a yes, no, not yes, no question, fill in the blanks question type. So I'm going to go into quizzes. Okay. Right. So I'm going to start sharing it. Now you are going to join another one that will be quizzes. Quizzes will accommodate more people. Jadi lebih enak ya. So it will accommodate more people. Okay, so it's not limited into 40 people. So now you are going to do quizzes and then we are going to compare it together. So I'm just gonna the same like Nearpod. You can also include the slides. You can also include the reading. So I'm gonna share the link. So this is the link, okay? So I'm gonna share it in the chat. Oh, wait. Okay, so you have to go to quizzes.com, join, and then you just need to click it. 30, 14, 34. Ah, okay. So I think Mr. Apin is really good at trying the new applications. Okay, then I'm gonna start, yeah? See, you can see the participants, a lot of people over there. Okay, so, right, so, but with your students, you're gonna ask them to use your real name. Otherwise, I don't know who are you, right? Okay, so I'm gonna start, yeah? So review task 1. So I'm gonna go into the next one. Okay, so this type of question will be different. Okay, so what is it? You have to type it. You have only 10 seconds. Yep. Right, okay. So time's up. All right, so what is it, everyone? So you can just discuss it with your friends. Okay, so let's see. Oh, Loretta is number 1. So Apin is number 1. You can also see the leaderboard over there. So that's, you can also see the statistic over here. So 8% are answering incorrectly. Then you can just go into the next one. So the question is taken from the LMS actually. So what is it, for example? So that's also good, right? So, wow, okay, so you are so fast. All right, okay, good. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, so let us see, time's up. All right, okay, so you can discuss it. So what is it? It's a hair dryer. Now again, so Loretta is leading, then we're gonna go into the next one. Okay, another picture, you know, so what is this that you can also use with your students? See, so time it, okay? All right. You can also use this for reading too, the same way with Nearpod, okay? And then, so you're gonna see the leaderboard again. Loretta is always number 1, you know, okay. Right, now let's see. You can do this, reorder the sentence with Nearpod because you have to type it. Reorder these words into the sentence. That's grammar. Right, so remember you have time. Yeah, so yeah, you can use it with for grade 2 with the pictures, but with this one, upper graders. Yeah. Okay, time's up. Right, okay. So the answer will be, sorry, I forgot. Okay. Then you can discuss it with your students too. Okay, so I'm gonna join it with the next slide too. Okay, the next one will be the same like Nearpod. You can use reading if you want to. So the same reading with the same questions too if you want. Then tell me the difference. Yeah, you've used quizzes, that's fun, that's true. But one thing, you cannot test listening using quizzes. Okay. All right, okay, good job everybody. What does the girl do for her parents at the supermarket? Okay, right, see, over here, so we've got Priscilla as the winner, okay. Right, good job everyone, okay. So this is the last one. And then we are going to finish after this. So you can just ask your, you can just advance your questions using quizzes and Nearpod based on the materials that you have, yeah? Okay, so that's also, which is not the question, the girl, okay, right, good. So again, no, this time it's not Priscilla, this time it's Loretta, okay. So can we buy, so you can also see the answers over here. What, which is not the question, can we buy some candy? Kind of like that. Okay, good job, everybody. Okay, so you can also see it. Yeah. Now, this is the end of the lesson. Okay, so do you want to end? Okay, all right. Now I'm going to go back into my, what is that, slideshow again. So with higher grades, you can use either Nearpod or you can use a, what is that, quizzes. Only that with Nearpod, limited participants, but you can include audio. Yep. But with the quizzes, you cannot include the audio unless you upgrade into premium one. But and then the good one is that for the fill in the blanks, the students can write down, and then you can also provide the answer key. Only that. So you just need to know which one to use, what type of questions that you want your students to have later. Yeah. So that's why you're going to use it differently. Okay. So all right, so you have done with the online application, for example. I want to do some projects. So what are some project ideas with the 5th graders? You know, with the topic like shopping, and you cannot ask your student to go into the supermarket right now. What you can do is this ones. Ask them to make interactive glossaries, yep. Digital flashcard, short advertisement, blueprints of the supermarkets. So you can also ask, what is that, bookmarks made from the vocabulary of the unit. If you want to do some art and craft, comic strip, crossword puzzles, or maybe making questionnaires, okay? So all of this tasks can be the project that you can put into one of the assessment that later you can just ask them to submit it via Google Classroom or maybe via the website itself. So one thing that you need to note is that provide with the assessment rubric. So show what to expect from their project and the proportion of its criteria for the grading. Yeah. And that so your students know what to do. Your students know what to expect. And then the next one is that provide the sample or the model. So show the variation of the final product if possible to make the student know what to make and they have the idea too. And then do not forget the due date. So it's to help you not to spend time waiting for them to submit the task. It also let your student learn the consequences of submitting late, you know, because it is also in one of the assessment. And then the media. So mention the media or tools they might want to use when you are giving the task. So the assessment rubric can be like this. For example, the project is like making the digital flashcard of vocabulary in Unit 1. The media could be PowerPoint. And then the due date will be on November 10. So this is the sample of the digital flashcard that you want your students to make. For example, things to buy at the farmer's market, but they're gonna do supermarket, yeah? So you can create kind of like, look at the pictures, look at the fonts. So now look at the pictures again. So I'm just gonna put some writings over here. So this is flashcard, the type of the flashcard that you can make. See, is it interesting to you? Can you play it? Can you play with it? And then you can just ask them. And then after that, after you show them the model, you can just show them kind of like, okay, so your digital flashcard later on will be graded in terms of pictures, spelling, and creativity. So the pictures, remember, must be clear, not blurry, and then easily seen from afar, not too small, nor too big, easy to identify. Yeah. And then spelling and fonts, 30%, easy to read font. I don't want you to use the font that is too artistic. I cannot read it. The color is wisely contrasted with the background, not flashy, correct spelling. And then the creativity, easy to use, interesting, artistic is another bonus. If possible, it can be played with friends. Okay, it will be a bonus too. Kind of like that, okay? Right, so these are the criteria that you want to give to your students before launching the project with them. Okay, so you want them, okay, so you have to submit it via the Google Classroom. It will be due on November 10. More than November 10, your grade will be, will be reduced into 50% of the others, kind of like that, yeah? So you show that. And one thing, one assessment that you can do is that you can also use ThingLink. So if you click on the, this is, what is that? This is one idea. Wait, yeah. Okay. So this is one idea of, what is that? Giving them project using ThingLink. So ThingLink is kind of like online application in which you can create interactive video or interactive cards. Okay, so I'm gonna just stop sharing it and I'm gonna show you the ThingLink. What is it like? If you want to, you can also, what is that? See it by yourself. Okay, wait, yeah. Okay, so now I want you to go over here. So you just need to click it, then you're gonna see my ThingLink. So it's kind of like, not this one, okay, this one. So this one is the class box. Okay, no, this one. Okay. So it's kind of like if I click over here and then I'm gonna see interactive card.
It says the media is private.
Oh, I see. Sorry. So I'm just going to show you. Wait. Okay. So can you see it now? Yeah. So with ThingLink, actually, you can just click it on the numbers over here. So you want your student to create a history of soap. Okay. So they can just add the picture. They can add story. All right. And then you can also add another story. You can also add a video that is linked into YouTube. Then they can see the video. You can see the video. So what you need to do later on. So no, I'm not gonna.
Whether in gel, foam,
right,
or bar
so I'm
form.
not gonna play it anyway. So we're gonna go back into my ThingLink. And then I'm gonna show you some other possible tasks that your students can do. So student project for remote learning. So you can just click it over there. So I'm just gonna share with you. This is the project that your students can do with ThingLink. like making an interactive card or greeting card, kind of like that. The same way like I made earlier. So when you click it, Miso says hi. And then you can also embed another card. Yeah.
Hi, Grandma.
You can also record.
So we're stuck here at home, but we're fine. Nobody's gotten sick. Everybody's healthy.
So this is also kind of like, okay, interactive book report. So if you click it, then you're going to see.
Ray gets sick the first day, so only
Kind of
Jay
like a very interactive one. So this is also possible for the primary, but the upper one, if you want to make a vocabulary poster, that will be easy too.
Miss Yuli?
Yes?
Yeah, so sorry. Some of the participants say that your media is still private.
Oh,
Perhaps
okay.
there is a setting on there.
Yeah, so I'm gonna take a look on the setting later on, but I mean like yeah, so I'm just gonna do it first. But it's gonna take quite time, you know, so that's why I just jump into this. But thank you. Okay, so let's see. This one I'm gonna publish it not as a wait, yeah. Oh, this one, okay. I think so. No, private, it will be public. Wait, okay. Nah. What about now? But anyway, you can just, I mean, like, you can just see it later, okay? So I do not need to open it, but you can just open it yourself and then you can see it, okay? Right, so let me know. So online class perhaps, but for students, okay. Right, okay. So that's one idea of using another another application if you want to. But if you think this is too complicated, just don't do it, okay? I mean, like, whenever, what kind of activities that you can do is that make it, try to find something that is easier for you, okay? So the last one, so later on, so please tell me about my ThingLink, yes? Let me know. Before that, I'm just gonna talk about LMS. So I believe that all of you are familiar with LMS, but I'm just gonna show you my own LMS. So why I'm using online LMS, because it's time saving for me. The questions are already there. The system automatically grades the student work. You do not need to do anything, yes? What you need to do is only sharing the link and the code. And easy tracking. You can see the reports, who has done the task, who hasn't. And then it's less technical mistakes. So because there's no worry that you're gonna accidentally delete a file or data, the data stays there, yeah? And then it's compact because it contains all skills, perhaps except speaking and writing paragraph. So that's another point that we're gonna discuss in the next training, okay? Now, I'm going to show you the sample of my running online, online LMS. So I'm not showing you the primary Oxford, but I believe that Oxford has a, the LMS for the primary students, but because I want to show you the real one that I'm using, so that's why I'm using the one I use for my adult class. So right now, currently, I do not have the primary students yet. So that's why I just show you what I'm working on right now, okay? So now I'm gonna sharing, my LMS. Okay, so I have to see it over there. So please tell me, later on, tell me whether my ThingLink worked. Oh, no, not this one. So the perks of having the online, you know, because there are a lot of things that need to show. Right, okay. I need to, this one, okay. This is my online LMS that is currently ongoing, yep. So I'm gonna show you why this is easy. So because there is a tracking icon over there. So I'm just gonna take a look on my on the grade books of the students. Then I can just locate whether my students have done the task that I asked them to do. And later, I'm just going to show you what is it like with the others. But mostly, the LMS will work the same, right? So you see, I have the list of the participants, my students over here. And then if I want to track because they are doing not from the first unit, they are doing from, okay, so let's say unit 10, for example, you see over here with the grammar one, everybody is still doing okay, grammar 2 is not okay, then you can just track with them. They also have the listening too, and then the unit test, and then the subtotal of the grades, kind of like that. Because you can track them very, very easily, then you can also know what happened to them. You can also show it to the parents if you want to. Okay, so this is the LMS that I'm currently working on, but mostly, usually the LMS for the primary will work the same too. So with the, what is that? If you have an ebook, that will be helpful to you. So for example, if you have the ebook kind of like this, class book, if I'm not mistaken. So this is a class book, okay? So class book is like most of the book that from Compass Publishing, if I'm not mistaken. So you also have the LMS over here. You also have the program. So you just need to click on the program that you want to work on. For example, okay, so let's say I'm using Hangout level 5, and then so we are going to, so you're going to see the book anyway, but I'm going to show you this one because you can also download. So you can download the MP3, you can also download the unit test, you can download the midterm test, you can download the final test. I mean, you do not need to make it by yourself. You see, that's the advantages if you have the online application of the book you are using, yeah? But if not, then yeah, so the choices of making up questions for the assessment, there are a lot, right? So I've seen you, what is that? We have seen a lot of, what is that? A lot of choices of making assessment now, right? So that's the LMS. This one. So this one with the Oxford, you just need to share the codes with your students later on. Okay, so what is that? This training talks about how to assess and the ways to assess. So kind of like you can assess it synchronously, asynchronously, using the assessment rubric, using formal assessment or informal assessment, the way you, what is that, suitable to your students. Because the validity of the test is questionable, so you have to combine them. I mean, like, do not just give them the worksheet without having them to do something online together with you, okay? So if you want to have a little bit more valid tasks, just do it together online, like using the Nearpod online, using Google Form online, synchronously together with you. So do not let them to do it by themselves then, okay? Unless you think like, okay, so I think my students need some time to finish it at home by themselves, so I'm gonna give it into their student space. That will be okay. And then if you are just combining all of the activities all together, you will be able to see the students' whole progress in doing different types, you know. Either you're using LMS, you're using social media, you're using online applications, you are using Google Forms. So all of them are enabling you to see them more clearly, and then you're gonna get more validity on the student's test. Yep. So that will be all for today, I think. Naufal, thank you for participating. Now I'm opening up the last question and answer. Thank you.
Now, teacher, please, if you have any question, you may ask through the chat box or directly to our trainer, Miss Juliana Dewi. Okay, well, I have a question on the chat box from Mr. Putra Tampubolon. Which do we prefer, allowing students play the assessment web application many times than once only? I don't
okay.
really...
So,
okay.
Right, so thank you. All right, so which do we prefer, allowing students to play the assessment web application many times than once? So I prefer to play only once, you know, yeah, just to get them focused into it. So if you let them to do it over and over again, they will not be very serious in it. Only once. You fail, that's on your account, kind of like that, yeah. Okay. Anything else? Perhaps the previous question. Oh, the Thingling works. That's good. I really like it. And with the Think Link, you can have your students to send the link to you, and then you just open it. Kind of like that. Okay. Any more questions? Right.
Okay, it's from Miss Priscilla. If I use interactive website like Kahoot, for instance, I usually get the difficulty in seeing the score. Sometimes it's added with the point of speed, if I'm not mistaken. I think it's more about technical.
Yeah, yeah, kind of like, okay, yeah. So with the online applications, it's going to be added with the, what is that? The point of speed. I think it's not wrong. I mean, like, you're going to need to, what is that? Sometimes we also compete because we are competing, of course. What is that? The speed will also be graded, right? And then that's one kind that we will categorize into informal assessment. You see? So that's why for Kahoot, perhaps informal, but Nearpod will not use the speed. So use the Nearpod. Google Form will not use the speed. Use Google Form. So kind of like you need to be able to identify, oh, okay, so for the formal one, I'm not going to use this platform, but I'm rather using this platform. Kind of like that, Miss Priscilla. Okay, thank you.
Okay, I think one more question from Miss Anissa Wahyuning Tias. What application that can assess the speaking skills? Maybe if you have a recommendation, perhaps, Miss Yuli?
Okay, so far, as long as I'm teaching online, so I always do the speaking assessment synchronously with the students. So really direct interview with the students because there is no online application for that to assess the students. Like there's no, I mean, like the software to identify whether the because the answer can be subjective, right? Yeah. So that's why there is no application to do it. But one thing that you want to do, you can also use ThingLink, the one that I used before. Yeah, because you see that the student can record and then send the link to you, you listen, kind of like that. With speaking, we're gonna talk about that in the next training because you have to create the rubric for the speaking test, kind of like that. Okay.
Okay, I think Miss Yuli, I think that will be enough, yeah, for the question. We can, because we have limited time today. So I think, so sorry, educators, I have to end the question. Is that okay, Miss Yuli?
That's okay, that's okay. That's okay.
Well, okay.
I can just answer them via the chat anyway.
All right then. Thank you again, Miss Juliana Dewi, for your wonderful session. But now I have to take over your session for a while. And educators, if you still have any questions, you can deliver your question or your idea confirming something to written email and WhatsApp on the screen. So you may take a look on that. So just take a screenshot really quick. And now educators,